Everydae is Paydae, baby. We are live here on YouTube and Twitch today. I shared the links. I shared the links to watch the expansion draft. It's on Twitch. So if you're not in America, on Twitch 3, you can watch the video of the presentation of the Twitch of the actual picks. If you're in America, it's on Paramount and CBS Sports Network, CBS Sports. And I did share the links with you all. So hopefully those work for you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I shared them. Yeah. Yes. Can y'all hear me? You all. So hopefully those work. It's kind of a little shaky back there. Let me see something. But I'll share. I'm gonna get the audio here for y'all.
And an all-star ownership group preparing to bring women's football to the heart of LA, then 120 miles southeast of LA. And next up, San Diego, where the San Diego Wave intends to become a bold force in the league. Plenty of headlines announced by the club already, and no doubt, even more to come tonight. And one of the best things about tonight, the stories that will go into the history books. And for more on that, our very own Marissa Pillar will be joining us throughout the night with all the latest news. And with that, we welcome you along to our Florida studios, where I've got an all-star lineup here with me, former U.S. international Laurie Lindsay and former Canadian
we here.
It's a big night, isn't it?
It is a big night.
I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit tired.
And also, yeah, it's a big night, and I'm excited for the ladies, everyone.
I mean, my social media, I think all the buttons on my iPhone, it's even possible to have and the amount of re-scrolling that I've been doing. I mean, I've been messaging.
I want to know if y'all could hear.
Sick of me last night, trying to catch up on all the movement. So I'm delighted to be here. I'm awake, and it's going to be a fun show.
So let me just make sure y'all can hear. Oh, there's my phone. Oh, Slee, I gotta go to her.
We've got another all-star joining us, Ali Wagner, joining us now live from Santa Clara. Ali, you've seen so many historic moments in the league, and tonight, close to home, the two California clubs are going to take center stage, aren't they?
Yeah, that's how we got California teams into this league.
Let me
and by
see.
the way, first, do I have to go with the double wave as well? Hello, everyone from California. We got good teams coming in the league, so I'm excited about it.
Ali, I absolutely love the double wave. You are ready for the occasion, that's for sure. We've got so much to get into.
Yeah, y'all can hear the audio. That's good. That's cool.
Let's talk big picture in the changes that are happening in the league, because U.S. Soccer has announced that it will no longer pay the salaries of U.S. women's national team players. I mean, of course,
Damn.
It's massive news, not just for the league, but for the players as well. So, Ali, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think
USA Soccer will no longer pay USA salaries allocated.
It was to provide the stability and to keep the key U.S. internationals in the league. Now they've done that. We are finally in the 10th season, and that is a big statement, and it's about time for the clubs to really put on their big girl pants and take the training wheels off and put the salaries for the best players in the world. And it also opens things up for our U.S. internationals, because before they were like tied to those allocated statuses, kept them here, but now they can go out into the market and get fair market value for their services, which I think is a great thing for all the players involved. And I think it's a great thing for the NWSL to have to compete on that level. But there's still the factor that, the U.S. national team coach is going to have his eyes on the league here. It's one of the most competitive in the world, if not the most competitive. So the reality is these players might want to stay close to home to be on Blanco's radar and make a push to get on that 2023 team. So a lot of factors come into play, but I think this was the right step at the right time for this league. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that completely, Ali. And I think it just gives these players the ability to be able to negotiate their own salaries. Yes, they can go over.
I'm gonna put the chat up. Also, I'm gonna put the Twitch chat
here to negotiate. We've already seen that with Lindsay Horan
real quick,
in Portland, and we're going to see that.
So y'all can hear what y'all can see if you're not on Twitch.
We've got so much to get to, and before we get to the latest with the expansion sides, let's talk about the biggest trades that have already happened. We'll start with the OL Reign, who have made trades for Nikki Stanton. Kaylin, walk us through this one. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
It was
saying, and that's why I picked up the phone and I called Laura Harvey just to kind of wrap my head around it. I mean, a fantastic player, but I was wondering what she was going to add to this side. And Laura nailed it. I mean, she needed a closing out number 6, depending on what happens here tonight, potentially maybe losing someone like a Danny Weatherholt that did close out games for them in that number 6 role. So I think it's a great player to bring in to build depth within the side, especially because they've lost some
Hopefully
of
I
the
can see it.
players back, because obviously they're just on loan. So they need a lot of pieces in the puzzle because they're missing a lot of big name players.
Yeah, so many pieces of the puzzle already moving. And elsewhere, US Women's National Team midfielder Sam Lewis is heading to Kansas City in exchange for Kiki Pickett in a first-round pick. This is just massive news, though, isn't it, Ali, for Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big pickup for KC.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Sam Lewis is really the future of the U.S. national team, a future captain of that squad by many people's accounts. And I spoke with Hugh Williams just a moment ago, and he said that was one of the main reasons they brought her in, was her leadership capabilities. He sees her filling in that 10 spot.
It's kind of tough.
That will come down to the manager that they bring in to take the helm of that squad. But Sam Lewis's ability to break lines, we've seen how direct and explosive Kansas City has been in the last season. Even though their points didn't reflect it, this was this team that all the other managers and all the other squads really did fear and knew that they could take points off of them. So I don't think Kansas City sitting at the bottom of the table,
yeah,
the amount of points that they had at the end of the season.
You just got to turn it widescreen, fam.
How dangerous and the potential of this squad has. And now,
so I'm gonna be chatting in the chat too. If I see anything I like, I'm gonna be putting it in the chat as well. So don't forget. I mean, even if you can't watch the even if you can't watch the game, the presentation doesn't mean you can't chat.
After being picked in the college draft this past year.
So sometimes I chat, just depending on. Let me get my tea. We just kind of vibing out. It says the first draft pick in 33 minutes. Shit, bro. Like, have we ever this is I'm pretty hyped. You know what I mean? I'm pretty hyped. So we get my tea. We're gonna enjoy. I'm gonna enjoy.
I mean, so much to talk about with this Crashland.
Okay, so I can just move this over here now again.
A deal that has happened here. Obviously, you see Kaylin Sheridan leaving this, so there's a big gap left in that goalkeeper role. So you bring the experience of a player like Ashlyn Harrison. I mean, she has been fantastic throughout the league, the vocal communication, and then also bringing in a veteran defender in Ali Krieger, very versatile. You can even throw her in midfield if you need at times. I think this is what Gotham needs to continue to keep building, but building within the leadership, especially because of the loss of Carly Lloyd.
Well, we could almost have a show entirely just on the trades and transfers that's happened so far, couldn't we? There's some of the biggest ones, though, and for more on these for the first time tonight, let's check in with Marissa Pillar.
Thanks, Poppy. I caught up with Sam Lewis earlier today, and she told me first and foremost she's starting to rehab from that right knee injury that kept her out of the second half of this 2021 NWSL season. She said she's starting to do more soccer-specific training, which is always a good sign. And Lewis also
wow.
Perspective for her specifically, it was more so about realizing how much she loves playing this game, how much she misses being out on the field, and
I was wondering why
what is pushing her through in this rehab, and she is so excited to get to Kansas City, mostly because she feels so connected to this investor and ownership group out in KC. She can't stop bragging about the first ever NWSL specific stadium that's coming to the city. She heard great reviews from her teammates that are already there, and she's excited to create some
hopefully y'all got
there.
Yeah, how exciting is that? A lot to look forward to that's coming up with Kansas City, but a lot to look forward to tonight as well. And let's take a look now at the draft expansion rules, simplified, of course.
So 9 teams protected, up to 9.
You can see 9 clubs protected, up to 9 players. You can see both of the teams are able to select one player from each team. They can choose one unprotected US Women's National Team player or keep the allocation money. And Angel City, they won the coin flip. They will choose first.
So each of the existing clubs can lose up to 2 players.
They're busy getting the final details sorted ahead of the expansion draft. Stay with us. We'll be bringing you all the latest on both teams so far. But as we turn the page and look ahead to the new season, let's just take a quick look back at last month's thrilling championship match.
Hopefully.
First stretch there in the second half, looking to light it up again.
I gotta see how I can put this little this chat a little different.
The 2021 NWSL season culminated with the Washington
It's kind of blocking my face.
first ever championship, but there
We'll do it when I hit it. Well, I'll fix it when I hit the commercial.
Jeff Fishlock of the OL Reign won MVP.
What a goal by Fishlock!
Caprice Dydasco of New Jersey, New York Gotham FC came away with Defender of the Year. Spirit forward Ashley Hatch took home the Golden Boot.
Ashley Hatch, now a double debut on the year with 10 goals.
Hatch's teammate Audrey Bledsoe won Goalkeeper of the Year.
Oh, Bledsoe! Save of the match!
And their championship run was catapulted by the stellar play of Rookie of the
I like the
Year,
setup.
Trinity Rodman.
I like the setup they got here on
It was less than 1 year ago when the Washington Spirit made Rodman the second
CBS
overall
headquarters
pick in the
stuff.
2021 NWSL draft, and she turned out to be the missing link the Spirit were hoping to see. Looking ahead to this NWSL draft, every team in the league has done their research, hoping to find the next Trinity Rodman.
Oh, did y'all know Trinity Rodman is a Gemini? Let's not forget. Give the Gemini some love.
The professional journeys for the next wave of potential superstars are about to kick off.
All right, I think they about to hit us with a commercial. Yeah, they about to hit us. Yeah. All right, they didn't hit us with a commercial. So let me see how we can interact with this. So this will be a little bit different. Properties. Height. Height is all right, but the width though, we'll fix that width. And they said about 30. There you go. Is that better? I think so. It'll be better. I can actually see that a little bit better. So y'all can see my chat. I'm just gonna be like Houston. Something be like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Dash. Let me just put Dash in here with Dash on Dash forever. Forever. Don't forget, I'll be representing. So make sure if you want to this is the link. This is the Twitch 3. All right. I'm pretty sure y'all can see everything. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's on commercial break. It's on commercial break. And I'm trying to remember how the teams already were. I think okay. So the first news we had gotten was Angel City got Kristen Fresh, right? And let me see, and then San Diego went and got Becky Sauerbrunn, Doll Camper, right? And then because I'm just looking at these two teams to see who's going to be the best team based upon, what we'll find out tonight, right? We'll find out tonight. Let me go. We back yet? No, we still on commercial. We still on commercial here. When the commercial ends, I'll give y'all back the audio so y'all can hear them talking. So, yeah. Let me see. Y'all can see the comments. Y'all see what people be talking about. You know what I mean? If you, a lot of Christy Muse supporters, saying hold it down. She's not protected, but it is what it is. What? She said I was a Dash fan last season, but I'm decided for the next one. You were never. Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't act. Dash didn't. I'm just saying. I mean, it is what it is. You can go find another team to like. People ain't loyal to their teams. They're what do they call them? Bandwagoners. That's right. They're just bandwagoners. It is what it is. All right, they back. Let's get it.
Bye. Thank you for watching and enjoy.
All right.
So head coach Casey Stoney and the San Diego Wave front office busy preparing their potential selections for the
San Diego Wave.
expansion draft. There is a
but actually, Angel City is the first team to draft.
Let's check in with our Marissa Pillar, who's standing by with Abby Dahlkamper.
Former Houston Dash.
Abby, as someone like yourself who has had so much success for both club and country, what would you say are keys to a successful team that you hope are implemented there in San Diego?
Yeah, I think just stressing the importance of a really strong culture. I think if we have solid foundations put into place, I think, I have so much faith and trust in the coaching staff and, everyone behind the scenes here at San Diego. We're building something so special, and I really can't wait to meet all my teammates.
At this point in your career, what excites you the most in terms of channeling all that experience you've picked up over the years into building something completely brand new?
I think exactly like you said. I think just the excitement of me hopefully taking on a different role and a sense of, falling back on my experience and building on my leadership a little bit. I think, again, like I said, just building strong foundation and, really the world's our oyster, and we...
Man, they better not try to get Megan Oyster. Y'all better stay away, bro. Y'all better stay away.
I think if we, hold each other accountable and hold our standards high, then we'll be really successful this year.
Heading into the season, everything is new, everything is exciting, but once you get on the field, where do you think this team can make the biggest statement?
I think just competing right off the bat, I think our goals are very high. I think, obviously taking it one day at a time and one game at a time. This league is the best in the world as far as talent goes. And every game is a competition, and any team can win on that day. So I think just being able to take it slow and take it one day at a time and trust the process and everything that we're building here.
It's certainly going to be exciting to see exactly what builds out of San Diego. Thank you so much for your time, Abby.
Thank you. Go Wave.
Oh.
Great to hear from Everydae, who is, of course, the first signing for San Diego Wave. And her resume speaks for itself, doesn't it? But, Kaylin, what was it about her that attracted San Diego?
The reason why she went and got San Diego Wave, I'm not too sure if she's from San Diego, but I thought this was a great defensive move for Casey Stoney. She likes defensive teams, so I had already said something when I had found out she got drafted by that team. I was like, I am not surprised Casey Stoney got her. And then I think Julie Ertz. Where's Julie Ertz going to?
Is going to make a push not only for the inaugural season,
they crazy.
Because you look at, I think this will be a playoff team.
Yeah. Listen.
San Diego do is build. And what we're seeing all the moves.
She said they are going to make a playoff push. Oh, listen, y'all, they got to prove it to me.
Alex Morgan and some of the other trades that have taken place, because it's more and more difficult for these young players from the college draft to come in and make an impact right away. So can you develop them, but have those movements early on to be able to build that culture that Abby Dahlkamper talked about?
Well, as well, from the front office perspective, Ali, the US Women's National Team, former head coach Jill Ellis as club president, then Casey Stoney. I mean, this is two massive names in the game, but with completely different backgrounds, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you're seeing both their fingerprints already on this roster. You look at Abby Dahlkamper, for example. UCLA is obviously under Jill Ellis, and then Casey Stoney. If you're starting to look at the way they're building this squad, Abby Dahlkamper fits in it perfectly. Casey Stoney played in the 4-3-3 system over in Man United. It's a team that wants to build out of the back. Guess what? They've got McGrady, they've got Westfall now, Abby Dahlkamper, incredibly good with her distribution out of the back. And then up top, you've got the explosive players that can stretch the opposition. And Alex Morgan, Kelsey Turnbow, another player that's coming in, Santa Clara grad, incredible player that can play wider in the 10. So they're building out a system already that wants to play out of the back, but also has those players that can stretch the opposition and threaten in behind, players that are really good and comfortable on the ball. So Abby Dahlkamper fits incredibly well into the system. And I think you're already seeing the vision that Jill Ellis and Casey Stoney have set forth for the squad.
So the vision's there, we've got the big names there, Kaylin, but from an expansion side, it's so difficult. And how difficult is it for this all to come together in such a short amount of time on the pitch?
Man, look at this. Look, you see what Alta said? Alba said? San Diego will select Megan Oyster from Houston Dash. She played with Abby Dahlkemper at UCLA, center back partners. So she said opinion.
And put them in the best spot possible to be successful, not only on the pitch, but off the pitch. It's that team camaraderie as well. I think it's super important in the NWSL because every week you genuinely don't know who is going to win the match because it is so competitive. So I think one thing that they are building there is players that can build that culture both on and off the pitch, and it's going to be highly important heading into a very competitive 2020.
And I already had just said that. That's a coincidence, synchronicity.
And you need to have those people that can fit that mold. And you're already building a possession-oriented team, but can you stop the transitional moments defensively? Have a double temper? Can you score goals on the other end? So all these pieces for San Diego are really starting to come together. I think this is
people making their predictions on their team. Looks, I want Houston to have the most protected team after this. You know what I'm saying? I had said before when I was watching Houston.
Because we talked about it, we've got both lines looking really
I
strong.
said our defense this year has been like great. Even though Dahlkemper was there for a little bit, it was great. But Oyster and Katie Naughton were solid for a good while. And I like that duo. And hopefully it doesn't get breaking apart.
I think those are the big question
We'll
marks
see,
that
though.
I'm really curious to see how they start to craft this midfield, what it looks like, 2 low, 1 high. More often than not, 1 low, 2 high, I would presume, in this system.
Allie, you didn't hear me and Lori are coming out of retirement today?
All right, well,
So
Don't pass on you.
I hope. That's the latest on the 12th team to join the league. But what about the 11th member of the league? Stay with us. We're going to bring you all the latest from Angel City after the break.
all right, they hit us with a commercial.
You may kiss the bride.
Oh, let me mute that. All right. It says, someone says, Rainbow Hustle says, what about not being able to play together on the dash together? Is the chemistry still there? Let's see. San Diego and Angel City FC are going to end up with better rosters than every other team in the NWSL. Maybe. It could be true. It could be true. Heck. Maybe. And then, let's see what else they're saying. Yeah, they're not drafting till like within 20 minutes. So I guess at like 6:40 maybe they'll start the draft. Okay, cool. I can see. I think I think Casey Stoney will thrive here in NWSL, and then I forgot the other San Diego coach. She was the Gotham coach, right? So Should be all right. She should be all right. Someone says, actually, I got to see how many people are actually live right now. Oh, shit, they back. Let's get back out there.
NWSL, and for more on that, it's a real pleasure to have Voyager CEO and co-founder Steve Ehrlich to join us now. Steve, thank you so much for taking the time. First of all, tell us about Voyager and your partnership with the NWSL.
Yeah, at Voyager, we are the leading cryptocurrency platform for retail consumers. And we're really excited about the partnership with the NWSL and these great athletes, and excited to bring some benefits with crypto education to not just these athletes, but also to the fans and to the league, and teaching more about the financial infrastructure of the future.
Well, not only is this exciting news for you, the league and the fans, but also for the players as well. So talk to us about your commitment to the players and their involvement with this partnership as well.
Yeah, that's the really exciting part about this partnership is the fact that every rostered NWSL player that opens up a Voyager account will get an equal share of the players' fund, and will get education from Voyager on how to invest those funds. So every player equally will participate in that player's fund.
And just to expand on the players' involvement, can you tell us a little bit more about the Player Ambassador Program?
Yeah, Voyager will be partnering with every single team and choosing one ambassador from each team to educate the rest of the team, their teammates, as well as the fans in each of those locations, as well as around the globe, because these are global athletes and are excited to partner with an ambassador from each team to bring that education to the world.
Absolutely, Steve. Exciting news all around, that's for sure. Great to have you with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right, so the first pick is coming up, but let's talk about Angel City then, because they've been making huge moves on and off the pitch. An all-star ownership group, team of investors. They've really made their mark in LA so far, haven't they, Ali? And then they brought in Kristen Press as their first player in franchise history. I mean, what have you made of the work that Angel City have done so far?
Yeah, I mean, some big names, obviously, that they're coming in with, and players that are really familiar with the Los Angeles area. There's also some that are a little bit unknown, and like the Katie Cousins and all that, players that they have signed that maybe are lesser known, that are off the radar. I think when you start to look at some of the players that they're building on, you know, you've got Derek Gordon, good down the spine.
Damn, they already got a pretty badass team.
When Caitlin Sheridan was out under international duty.
Angel City.
Partnership there between manager and player that she wanted to bring her in.
Oh, they didn't show us for too long. But
on the radar, you know,
I saw
count on her in the near
Julie
term.
Ertz, I saw Simone Charlie, saw Sarah Gordon.
When she will be ready and back from injury. So that's one that
pretty good. They got an attacker, midfield, defender.
They have a lot. You also
and they
have the ability to play in the three back. You do have wing
Kristen
backs
Press
and middle on the left, maybe Tyler Lucy on the right. So they could go into 3-5-2.
Pretty good.
Again, under Freya Coombe. So none of those things would surprise me if they did play in the systems that we've seen at Gotham, if she translates that over to Angel FC, especially with some of the players that they've already started to build out their roster with. But we'll get more of an inclination, I think, as how things progress in this expansion draft.
Yeah, definitely, Ali. It's a good point. Laurie, what stands out to you there about the players that they've acquired so far?
Yeah, I think fairly similar to what we saw with San Diego and their ability to be able to bring players in, make the movements before this expansion draft even started. But at the same time, looking at this roster that they have so far, and there's not a ton of experience or older age players. So I think that's something that they're going to have to look for, whether they're going to bring in somebody from overseas, an international player, or in the expansion draft, are you going to get somebody that has experience in this league that sort of fill the holes? Because that midfield, I think, is still a little thin as well, and that's an area that they're going to be looking forward to solidify.
So a mixed group so far, and then Freya Coombe obviously come in as head coach. What are your thoughts on her taking over, Kaylin?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I think you saw what she was doing within the league, and then it was almost a head scratcher mid-season getting this job. But I think you saw moments of her success, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. I think she plays a very good style of football, but very new to the league. And I love that you guys touched on that point, just the quality in around this team. And it's very different from both expansion sides.
just the culture through that spine of the team, I think it's lacking. I think they have some amazing attacking threats, obviously, with the likes of Lucy, Charlie, and Press. I think those are fantastic, dynamic players where you can play with 3 up top, you can play with the potential 2 up top, but I definitely think they're lacking through the spine of the team. Sarah Gordon, fantastic pickup from them. I mean, both on and off the pitch. For me, obviously, I don't think she'll be captain of this team, but I definitely think she has those captain qualities of this side.
Well, there's so many positives, isn't there, Ali, for a coach to come in and get a blank canvas and to get to bring
I thought they already chose their captains by the first player they picked.
And this is a team that is being built for the now. So many times, a lot of these expansion sides will say, listen, we don't have to go into the playoffs in the first year. We just want to compete.
Whoa, didn't she just say, she said that one of the teams was going to be able to compete for the playoffs? Now she said,
that a lot of expansion teams come into the league, and they want it that way. This is a brand that they're creating. Now they need to back it up with performance on the field. It needs to be that exciting, electric, entertaining, attacking style of soccer. I think you do get that out of the ability with the Kristen Press, perhaps Simone Charlie, yes. But I think this team is going to go heavy in the international market. We talked to Luco. Part of her
Annie, shout out to Annie.
She knows the global game. She believes in making the global game reflect in the side in terms of the personnel she brings in, so everyone can feel like this team is theirs. And I think they're going to go big into that market. I think they have the pocket to do so. And so I think we're talking about a very different situation with this expansion side than we usually do with a team like Kansas City or Louisville coming in last year. This is a different ball game for Angel City, and I think there's bigger splashes to come out of potential signing.
Yeah, it certainly is an intriguing franchise to come.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting since the USA players are not being paid by USA Soccer. Now they're going to have to figure out how they can get more attention and more money.
They're able to do going forward, and as Ali said, the splash is there, and that's what you want to see from an LA franchise. We've seen it on the MLS side, the LAFC going big, and now it's really going to be about putting those pieces together.
The splash is there, yeah.
Defensively, making sure that's set in stone, and then you can build the excitement going forward. You have those principles in place.
Yeah, and I think the key to success, obviously, they have players within this side already that have the league experience, which is huge within the NWSL because it is a very different league from Europe. You touched on it, it's explosive, it's dynamic, it's transitional as well. So I think the key is getting those internationals, but I also think it comes down to the head coach of LA just being able to manage these players and putting in a good playing style that can help Press be the best version of herself on the pitch.
Well, there's so much to talk about with the footballing side of this club, but Ali, it seems from a marketing perspective as well, this is a team that has taken into account every tiny detail, haven't they?
Yeah, and I want you to know I've already been called out for potentially having English City colors on.
All three of them. Honestly, me too, Ali. We're always
look at that. They already siding with teams. I'm Houston Dash all day, baby.
Trying to capture our hearts and minds through warfare, guerrilla warfare. I don't know.
No,
marketing's been massive for them.
No.
And that's what's massive for the NWSL is these teams understanding how they can leverage their assets, do it in a way
AKA us, the people.
And then once you do take the field,
you that's watching, the consumer, their assets meaning you, us, the economy.
They are walking the walk that they have set out on the path to do.
Yeah, and I love, Ali, that you touched on that, walking the walk, but then they have to talk the talk on the pitch. So they're splashing all this money out. I'm not going to lie, my bank account's probably going to be drained. I thought
what? Someone says, has anyone noticed that Racing Louisville has Janine Becky on their unprotected list? What the?
Fantastic job with this branding. And I mean, you look at all the players within this league, speaking to a lot of the head coaches here, the first question was players going to these coaches saying,
what the hell?
I want to play for one of these expansion teams, and it's no shock. And especially you look at the branding, you look at the money that they're splashing out for even the trades. I mean, it's fantastic to see. And then you take the allocation out of that with these players.
I was wondering why that girl Janine Becky wasn't, with Houston, with the City.
Now they can stay in our own backyard.
Yeah, so yeah, it's weird and annoying, and I'm still mad about the NWSL treated Janine Becky. How did they treat the girl? I thought she upgraded. She went from Houston to City.
But I just think it's so good.
And she still got a gold medal for her trouble.
And then just expansion teams.
I don't know what happened, though.
Doing things properly. You look at Kansas City as well, doing things properly. It's only going to be a driving force, bringing the top players in from Europe and making this league even better.
Well, that's exactly right. Doing things properly, and I think it speaks to the fact that you're able to be able to
listen. Rachel Daly ain't going nowhere. Look, Rachel, if you do leave Houston, please don't go to another NWSL team. Please go to another country.
Their logo. They've been able to do all of this over a year and a half, build the excitement, and now we're seeing that play out now, which is incredibly exciting, and that's what you want from this market of LA.
So who has the better logo out of the expansion teams? I'm putting you on the hot seat here.
Who has the better logo, y'all?
You don't have to.
Angel City.
I'm just kidding.
We fly high. It's Anita flying high, so I mean, I got the wings.
Here we are. They're both good for different reasons, though, aren't they?
The wings. That's easy. Look who they got in the background. Angel City. Where's San Diego wave at? Oh, y'all can't see it on the live, but if you're watching, I'll upload this video when I get done. But
it certainly does. I mean, with investors alone, and we have talked a little bit about that, but that excitement, the women that have been involved in this as an investment going forward, I mean, just speaks to, I think we're going to start to see that throughout going forward in other franchises.
And I think that one thing that you touched on is community. I think that's so important because you look at Major League Soccer and why they've continued their success is because they've gone out into the community. They've created a culture not only in their own backyard with these players and coaching staff, but they've made it feel like a family. And I think that's extremely
Something's about Houston threw her to the trade to make sure Carly Lloyd could be traded to her hometown, New York, and she found out about it over Twitter.
Absolutely. Well, for more,
I mean, she probably knew. She probably knew.
Obviously, Angel City has a plethora of big names already attached to this club with owners, investors, partners, celebrities.
Says big loss, Julia Russo to Juventus.
One of the most arguably enthusiastic partial owners of Angel City FC, Julie Fowley, and she gave me her elevator pitch for why everyone at home should now become Angel City fans.
What?
First and foremost, Angel City is a club that cares about its players, values them, and wants to take care of them. Do right by them every single
That's
time.
The spill.
She also said
that as they should, but I'm still not trading my team.
That is huge for this league to continue to empower women, not just on the field, but in the front office as well. They are extremely
Angel City doing what they can to gain supporters.
For the future, and
I guess as they should, but your town that you're in, do they have to
Hard to argue with that kind of logic.
You could just about convince me to do anything, Marissa. Well, we're getting close to the first pick happening. So let's go over to interim NWSL CEO Marla Messing.
Thank you, Poppy. And thank you to our fans who are tuning in this evening to
I did the gematria on this woman.
In the development of our two newest
she had the false flag gematria, but I'm not saying she's a false flag, but I'm just saying.
Next year, the league will
but let's see how everything goes.
Anniversary. This is truly a milestone in professional.
All right, so we having the
we are grateful to all our players.
The first pick of the expansion draft. I don't know what team. Do they get to choose any team first?
Commitment and to the league's owners and corporate
Shit,
partners
Houston.
For their
hopefully Houston's early.
And resources.
I don't want them to have too much time to think about the Houston players.
Of the best women's soccer players in the world taking the field for the 2022 season. We couldn't be more excited about the future of women's soccer and the NWSL. With that, Angel City, you are now on the clock.
Okay, they got about 2 minutes? 3 minutes? Yeah, I really gotta have that music. All right, cool. They on commercial. Says Angel City has the best logo for show. Any predictions? I really don't know. Someone says Camus, Jordan DiBenassi. I mean, I have no problem. Even though you know what I'm saying, I like Kristen Press. Even though I like Christy Mewis. I mean, my fam, she is over 30. I have to be looking towards the future. It wouldn't, I think I'm very grateful for what she's done, but I still got to be looking for the future. You know what I'm saying? We protected I was looking at Houston. They protected Stevens. She's one of the players I feel like will be a bright spot for Houston. Hopefully she stays. Hopefully she gets more playing time. But honestly, I just don't. I'm trying to think. They didn't protect Chapman or some of the Canadians that we had. So I was like, damn. So Houston's like, fuck it, y'all could take them. But they're over 30. You know what I mean? So it's realistic. It's realistic for me. Coming from a Houston supporter, as you know, we watched a lot of Houston matches. People are saying, Megan Oyster from Houston, Christy Mewis from Houston. What's up with all these Houston? But nobody likes to talk about Houston. Where the first ones to get picked from? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? Yeah. It's crazy. They still got commercials. Oh man, but we really don't know. Man, I wish I could show y'all the what I'm watching. But hopefully you're watching yourself live. You know what I'm saying? And when I looked on CBS's schedule, I was like, this is gonna be 2 hours. I was like, there's only 9 draft picks, but commercials, the advertisements, the programming. But whatever, I guess we're here for it. We're here for it. I'm here for it. Hold on. They are they back? Let's get it. Looks like they're back. The chat is early.
Streaming live on Paydae Plus. There is a look at Angel City.
Angel City.
The first pick of the expansion.
Let's go.
Now
Let's see.
To LA.
Look at this guy, the mustache. Oh, you can't even see him. Fuck.
With Angel City FC's first pick in the 2022 NWSL expansion draft, ACFC selects Danny Weatherholt from OL Reign.
Danny Weatherholt from OL Reign. How old is she? She's 27?
City has selected Danny Weatherholt. Laurie, your thoughts on this selection?
I really like this selection.
I don't even know who she is, to be honest. So. Okay.
Danny Weatherholt certainly fits that mold really good. Holding midfielder number 6 that can sit front that back line. And even as Ali talked about earlier, can they play a 3-back? Can they play a 4-back? Regardless, Danny can sit in there, play mate, and she comes in. You're not going to lose her to going in with the international whenever there's international breaks. She's going to be able to be there for the full.
Nice. I should just say nice.
And a massive return for her to California is okay.
Yeah, this isn't a shocking one. Speaking to Laura Harvey, that was my first question. Obviously,
yeah, a lot of players are going home too. So I mean, I guess it's more comfortable that way for them. It makes sense. I guess.
I would love to go to one of these expansion teams, obviously from.
And then with a new team, you got a new dream, a new vision for yourself. It's just like when you go to another town. You leave your hometown.
The culture in and around this team. Bring someone like her in.
You get to go.
You hate being on her team in the 5-a-side in training, and you hate being against her. But it's one of those players that you want on your team, and she's a closing out 6. You can start her. You can bring her off the bench. She's very versatile as well. Communication is second to none. Always.
I wonder what her zodiac sign is.
In the right direction. I think this is a great first pick.
You guys forgot the most important point.
And we left it out purposely.
Grad goes number 1. Santa Clara grad.
Who? Oh, them in their colleges. I can't relate. I can't relate to these colleges that they all went to. Okay, she's a Piscean. Daniela. So the first pick is a Piscean player. Interesting. That's how I'll get to know them a little bit more. Their energies. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and write this down. So Angel. I guess I just put that right there. Danny.
And this is 6 years in the NWSL.
Weatherholt.
She has proven her worth over time. Yes, she can come off the bench, but she can also start playful 90 minutes. And
Pisces.
4 seasons, then a couple seasons.
So she's mutable water.
but I will definitely be a central focus point for this team going forward.
And I think it tells you everything you need to know. Talking to Laura Harvey said, I'm going to be devastated if she does go because she is such a huge person and player for this side.
And she's 27.
Everyone looks to play her, and she's just a quality soccer player as well. So I think devastation for OL Reign, but then obviously fabulous.
So she's the first pick for Angel.
Yeah, so a big upset there for Laura Harvey, but that's what's going to happen throughout the night.
All right, Angel City.
Are going to be leaving their team
San Diego.
well,
y'all see the chat going crazy already.
It's just so we're going to go live now to San Diego for the second pick.
Y'all see the chat. All right, Jill Ellis. What's good?
San Diego Wave, we are delighted to pick with the first pick in the 22 NWSL expansion draft, Kristen Westfall, midfielder. Houston.
Okay. So we got Houston, got Mewis. Interesting. Bye, Mewis. Christy Mewis.
She's fabulous. Again,
all right, so Kristen Mewis is the second pick. Shout out to her. Another Piscean player. I'm telling y'all. Kristen Mewis is a Piscean. A lot of water energy from both teams already. They need to get the emotion from us. They trying to grab our emotions with these Piscean players. So shout out to Houston Dash. Thanks, Kristen Mewis. You know, we say we still fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Houston. I'll say you did so much for Houston.
I think both sides.
You know she'll be a Houston stan forever. So
we'll see if she actually stays.
Houston Dash. And she's 30.
So what do you think, Laurie? Do you think we'll see her in San Diego?
Damn, now they saying that she might not even be in San Diego. What's going on?
Trade, or you have a quality player, excellent player that has a ton of time in this league, understands, and there's a maturity to Kristen Westfall that we've seen in the last few years in terms of taking care of her body, really pushing to get on the national team, and I think we're going to see that. And if you're looking at these Angel City, but also San Diego, looking to solidify that midfield that we talked about, keep possession, but also have a bit of a flair going forward, Kristen Westfall is a perfect pickup for San Diego.
Yeah, but I also think that they do have players that can play in those roles already, with like Kelsey Turnbow, as I mentioned before. She's a versatile player, so if they do move her on, they do have players already that can fill those voids. The reality is, though, when you look at these drafts, especially this expansion draft, you look for value. That was a key word that kept coming up on the radar with all of the managers that we spoke with. And
I'm Anita's joint in the chat. I said both teams drafted Pisces players, grabbing at your emotions, which is true. This because they want they're new teams, so they need to create new energy. Pisces are like portals.
You want to go international. You know, these are all things that will ultimately play out over time. But the reality is, she is value.
But 27 with
And just on that, you mentioned Houston Dash. It's obviously a big loss for them, but really they will get something from it in return, won't they? Which is crucial for them after coming off what's been a disappointing season.
Listen,
yeah, that's a tough thing about transition.
Why do you want to drag Houston into this? Houston Dash. Someone said, Molly said, Alexa Futeas to Houston Dash. Oh my gosh. In our dreams, bro. In our dreams. We wish.
That money and maybe go overseas, try to find a player that they can bring in and fill that role.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens there with the Houston Dash. Just a reminder that the National Women's Soccer League is available for you all season long on Paramount. Plus, you can watch the matches live and on demand.
Oh yeah, people love. Listen, that's why Houston is the most talked about team, because they love us. I know y'all love us.
With Angel City FC's second pick in the 20.
Okay, Angel City. Let's see.
NWSL expansion draft.
What's up?
ACFC selects Claire Emsley.
Claire Emsley. Orlando Pride. Hold on. So
here is a look.
Another 27-year-old. So Claire. Oh shit! Hey, she's the She played for City.
A little bit of a shock to me to go this high in this, but again,
I like this chick. She's pretty cool.
In the NWSL, obviously,
she played for City, so
maybe not in that starting position.
She's Scottish.
Yes, and I think we saw that with
Scottish.
We saw what Washington did.
Let me see.
They didn't have a lot of
Claire
offense,
Emsley.
but what they did is they got the best squad possible. So when players
where's she from?
International breaks, they had players, quite frankly, to fill those roles. And I think that's a huge task to ask because a lot of international breaks, it falls dead center in your league where those are your make and break games. So I think this is a great player to maybe be a role like
she's another Pisces, y'all. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by this pick, actually. I didn't see this one coming at all. I know that
she's a Piscean.
Wants to potentially play if it isn't a 4-3-3.
She's from where? Orlando Pride?
A crafty player. I watched her a lot. Actually called a for a game for the 2019 World Cup with Scotland.
And she's 27.
She's one of those players that is fearless, that takes on.
So
but I didn't see the end product as much. So
we had 3 Pisceans.
Pick in that regard, and I think
back to back to back. They really trying to grab our emotions right now.
How she fits into this fold will be incredibly fascinating, especially because they do already have so many players coming into that front line.
Someone says, totally based towards WSL. I want to believe that last year Louisville selected 4 players that were never going to play for them. This time, both new teams made sure the players were joined.
Make an impact, and if players are going to be coming in and out, you have some players.
Well, San Diego's probably so confused by that pick.
Can they play full 90 minutes throughout the entire season?
I mean, congratulations to everyone that's getting drafted. You got chose.
All
right.
Than what this team already currently has on their roster.
And I think that's the one thing you just nailed it, bringing in that experience. We talk about players that have the NWSL experience, but you also need the international experience because it's completely different. Just the way that you train, the way that you recover, the nutrition, those little aspects. Sometimes it takes a player like that has played at that top international to maybe train players fresh out of college or maybe only their year 2 in the NWSL. So maybe bring someone like that in to not only play a role within the team, but play a role outside of the team.
I like Claire Emsley because I got to see her play with City. So I like both players that got picked. That girl, Kristen Westfall. That girl, both of them played for my teams. So I ain't tripping. Both my teams getting love tonight. Houston Dash and
So we've done 3 picks so far. The 4th one,
and City
is coming up from San Diego. It's been a couple of surprises already. So let's now go live to San Diego.
And she's a forward too. I forgot to put the position. Shit. Okay, so because Christy was like a midfield, Emsley was like a forward. She said. So let me make sure I put the position.
Second pick in the draft, we are going to select Kristen McNabb, defender,
okay.
Midfielder, OL Reign.
Okay. 2 OL Reign players picked already now. They can't get picked from no more.
San Diego have selected Kristen McNabb.
Kristen
talked about the importance of the back line.
McNabb.
Yeah, well, let me just start by saying
defender.
Virginia grad, so there we go. But
she's 27 as well.
Gone higher in this extension draft. This is a player that goes under the radar.
There's only been 4 picks, fam.
Performing for her team.
She said, I thought she'd go higher. There's only been 4 picks. But OL Reign, right?
When it comes to extension drafts,
so let's see what type of vibe Kristen McNabb is. Kristen McNabb.
She can play on the back line, but she can also play in that number 6 role.
I know you and Al are.
Okay, now we got look at the troll. Look at the troll. Molly Edmonds, Mo Salah to Houston Dash. Look at that troll right there.
So I could fit in at the single. But you look, and I love that you touched on this back line, a fantastic player, but look at the partnership. I mean, you can play her alongside so many of this back line, and talking about the core of the team, the spine of the team. I think this
Let me
is
see,
a
Kristen
player
McNabb.
who solidified herself week in and week out, a big defender, last-ditch tackles, gets stuck in, and also has that communication that can keep the back line together. When you're an expansion team, it starts from the back and it moves its
Kristen
way up.
McNabb?
McNabb.
McNabb.
You have a good, solid back 4. Sometimes it can be an ugly game, but as long as you have good defenders, you can make it
there
through
she
in
is.
the NWSL because it is so transitional. I think she is.
Okay, we got our first Aries.
I'm shocked she didn't go higher.
Is that OL Reign is done, right? They picked Weatherholt.
She's an
Now,
Aries.
No forwards will be taken from OL Reign. Having said
Okay,
that,
so
I think this is a great pickup again.
So they were like, all right. So they started from Pisces. Now they're going to the next, which is Aries, which is not a coincidence. They did that shit on purpose. All right. So they got the spark. They got the cardinal fire. So let's see.
really strong for the San Diego.
So Casey's
team.
going with the defensive
And
team.
with this
Are we
acquisition,
surprised?
I think it just gets a
No.
bit stronger, and you're seeing again that they have a clear path on the team that they want to build, the way they want to play, and McNabb fits into this system.
But
Yeah, and I'm just going to touch on
three 27-year-olds and 1 30-year-old. So, I mean, honestly, the teams are picking up, older players. I mean, let's see. Y'all see the chat going crazy over there? People with their OMGs. All right, what's next?
I mean, I could agree. I told you, she's a UVA pick. This is a player that's versatile. I get it, right? So I'm into it. This is a proud moment for Laurie here, isn't it?
Well, she's in San Diego colors already, so come on.
All right. Well, the 5th pick is in, so let's go now.
Let's see who they gonna pick.
Angel City, then.
San Diego. Oh, Angel City.
With Angel City FC's 3rd pick in the 2022 NWSL expansion draft, ACFC selects Jasmine Spencer from Houston Dash.
All right. Y'all saw the chat. We kind of. All right. So Jazz. So those are the 2 Houston players. Houston going high in the draft. Let me talk about it. Let's go. Houston going high in the draft.
Love her. Tell us about her.
I think everyone knows when I'm calling games, they know that I love Jasmine Spencer. And yes, I've played with her. Okay,
Houston going high in the draft. All y'all haters, all the Houston haters, you're like, what, Houston? Y'all want to draft from us first? Y'all want to pick from us first? Yeah, yeah. That's all y'all want to pick us apart? Oh yeah. Y'all, Jasmine Spencer, shout out to you, fam. I really enjoyed watching you play, Jasmine Spencer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. You'll be missed. You know what I'm saying? You brought a lot of energy, a lot of good energy, a lot of spark to Houston's side. You know what I'm saying? So she's like a forward. She was playing defensive, forward, midfield, all around for Houston. Shout out to her. So Houston can't be touched no more. Y'all better stay away from us. And she's 31, so
Jasmine Spencer. So this is, when you're thinking about building culture, this is a player that you can build around.
Shout out to her. She's going to Angel City.
She is a culture builder herself.
Let me see what type of vibe Jasmine Spencer is again.
That is huge when you're building an expansion team. And then also the consistency.
And she has pace.
Of what you're going to get day in and day out, which is the work ethic from Jasmine Spencer to put in and to continue to help.
There she is.
Not to mention the characteristics you already said.
August 27th. I think she's a Virgo.
For all of you. I think, with Jazz Spencer coming in, I do think this is a good pickup. I think Jazz Spencer was a game changer last season. And you saw that her ability single-handedly to drive a team forward in transition. We saw that often.
Yeah, she's a Virgo.
This is a player that has that capability to open things up. So I don't necessarily see her as sliding into a starter into this team. And again, this is without knowing the full scope of what this squad will ultimately look like. But
someone says, why so much hate on Jill Ellis? All she did was help with 2 gold medals.
When you look at some of the players that were available and where Angel City was heading, I think this can fit into, again, what they're trying to accomplish. So I'm okay.
People hate winners.
You can just see on the highlights how powerful she is going forward.
And it says Houston's going to draft Diana Ordonez, a great striker. Interesting.
Fitting in with some of the players that Angel City already have.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this Angel City side, obviously heavy in that forward positioning. And yes, obviously you can bring her off the bench. I love her as a starter.
Interesting.
She just sets the tone of a game with her pace, her ability in 1v1 decision making. And I think also the defensive side of her has changed up as the years progress with her in the NWSL.
The chat's going crazy, y'all. The chat's going crazy.
I think she can really push for that.
They're like, what? Can someone explain? I don't know what's going on. San Diego's pick, but they can say that with every pick. They'd be like, oh my God, who knows what? They're so shocked. What? Oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, oh my God, what did you see? Y'all extra dramatic ass.
All right, so the next pick is in, so let's go now live to
Y'all extra dramatic ass. All right, y'all, let's see.
Sitting away, we are going to pass.
Okay.
All right, so San Diego Wave are passing on the 6th pick. We'll see what comes of that. But of course, this does happen, doesn't it? Chaos all week trying to plan where.
Yo, why my number is 6, right? Look at that. San Diego Wave pass on 6. I feel like okay, so I just want to say something. How y'all gonna have an expansion draft for 2 teams and your whole job is to pick players? How the fuck is that even possible to pass? What type of witchcraft shit is that? What the fuck? That don't make no goddamn sense. Was that in the rule book? They just be making up rules as they go. Niggas, you can pass in your own expansion draft? The logic behind that shit. What the fuck? That's funny as shit. And it just happened to be the number 6. You know, and I came through on the 6. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's funny. That's some funny ass shit right there. This is comical. This is comical. Let me give me some more tea real quick.
Favor of both squads, or both teams, I would say, that are involved in transactions. So nothing surprises me anymore in the NWSL. So let's just keep rolling. Let's throw the curveballs.
This is the NWSL. We absolutely love it, and it's available all season long on Paramount Plus, just as a reminder. But it's just difficult, isn't it, for these expansion sides to, in this time frame, to get all of their picks, to get everything together with so many pieces.
That's some funny shit.
Constantly moving.
Well, I think that's the best part about the NWSL. You're starting to see GMs, you're starting to see head coaches, former players. I mean, you look at Gotham, you look at what's going on in Portland, you look at
it says
bringing in players that have
how many passes do they get?
First and foremost, they're starting to treat these players.
It says
they're starting to
a pass.
These players of where they
Is it a pass on the expansion draft? That's amateurish. Real shit. Like I didn't even know that it existed. Pass maybe after 6th pick. So now San Diego are gonna pass. Yeah. San Diego gonna have all the USA players. LOL.
Expansion teams, they're setting in the right structures as well.
Yeah.
And again,
y'all can read
chat
as well. It's pretty funny.
Trade is because if I have heard correctly, it's going to be Blockbuster. Oh, well, we love that's what you call tease, everyone.
Yeah, we love Blockbuster. And NWSL after dark, because then we know it's really bonkers.
If only we knew what the Blockbuster trade was. But it's a good point that you bring in, Kaylin, because we're seeing players now have more of a say where they are going to be
Angel City
professional soccer.
And I think it should be like this. And obviously, you saw how they had to build the NWSL, which I completely agree with. Now they're taking off restriction, and it comes down for players, but getting put in the best possible situations for themselves and for their families.
Yep. All right. Well, time now for the 7th pick. So let's
go. Okay. So this is the 7th pick. Since what you call it, passed?
With Angel City FC's 4th pick in the 2022 NWSL expansion draft, ACFC selects Paige Nielsen from Washington Spirit.
Oh, okay. I've been writing my shit wrong. Paige Nielsen.
So Paige Nielsen
okay.
Selected from the Washington Spirit.
Okay, that's what I was like. I was thinking, like, why aren't teams picking from the winners that just won the whole league? Like, you're not picking from that team? Okay. Finally, Angel City smart. Let's see, Angel Nielsen. I'm just writing down so I can write down their energies.
Paige Nielsen.
How old is she too? Washington Spirit.
Not as most comfortable as she is as a center back, but she has some versatility. Found herself on the bench.
Okay, she's a defender.
So, again, expansion drafts, you have to make some tough decisions to be able to protect certain players, and unfortunately for Paige, left off. And Angel City getting a really good pickup for some.
Let's see what type of energies Paige has.
Can we touch on something with Angel City as well? I love that they're having, I believe, supporters. I mean, that's exactly what we talk about building cultures within these squads. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But again, just touching on her versatility, I think that's super important when you do have a new expansion.
Okay, so she's 28.
You have to have some versatility within your team because sometimes you pick a piece of the puzzle and it doesn't fit.
October, I think she's a Libra.
In order to have your best 11 on the pitch. And what she brings is experience in the NWSL, coming off a championship.
Yeah, she's a Libra.
You're
okay.
We
got some, my fellow,
on the pitch, off the pitch, building that
my fellow Libra.
And really
so we got 3,
like, hey, I've done
3
it.
water
I've been around
signs,
season. I know what it feels like to win a
1
championship.
earth
So I think
sign,
this is a
1
great,
fire
step for
sign,
Angel City.
and 1 air sign. So we got all the elements
With her coming
in the
as
draft
well,
so
that
far.
versatility is key. And it also goes back to the fact that they could play in a 3-back system. If you look at some of the players that are coming in, because she is typically a right center back, Sarah Gordon, right center back. Of course, both players are versatile, but you can look at this and start to wonder if this is an option to have them flex in and out of different systems. And I think she's a solid player. Not great building out necessarily, but I think she's a really good defender. And one of the
all right, we got
things
that.
we heard from Annie is, look, we want to be a difficult team to beat. We want
So
to be
50 seconds on the clock for San Diego after they passed.
Absolutely no problem on that front.
LOL.
And it just gives you more options in that back line. So a good pickup, I think, ultimately for Angel City and helping to try to solidify that center of the park, the spine of the team.
And that was one of the biggest things coming into today, wasn't it, for both teams? It's the defensive.
Yeah, I see the chat.
These sides, Kayla.
Y'all see the chat.
You look at how transitional it is.
They're going crazy.
Presence in the NWSL. Some of the best world-class strikers.
A lot of people in the chat don't like Jill Ellis for some reason.
In the NWSL, in order to be
Lames.
successful, you have to be a very difficult team to beat, starting from your back line and just that connection to your midfield. You look at Washington. That's why they were so successful. They were such a difficult team to beat. All right, well, the 8th pick is in, so let's go now live to San Diego.
What you got for us?
Okay, actually, I have a question for Allie Wagner. Allie, are you in the Angel City dugout? Because you're all pinked out with black and gray behind you, my friend. So I think we want an answer to that question.
I'm just playing Jedi mind tricks on you. I want you to know this is off black by Farrell and Ball. It's an excellent paint choice for the walls, but I'm in my kids' playroom. Listen, we're doing a draft from my home. I got to go somewhere where no one's going to bother me. Black wall, I was in trouble for lighting earlier, so look, I'm doing the best I can, and I just may have picked a biased shirt that is not reflective of my heart.
All right, that's a great answer. We will send you some gear tomorrow, FedEx. You got it. All right. Actually, we are going to pass in the 4th round, so San Diego Wave passes in this round.
All right, so Jill Ellis there saying San Diego have passed on the 8th pick. By the way, can we all get some gear? I think that would help answer your question then, Kaylin.
Yeah, Jill, I'm the only one that's been.
Yeah, I don't. Did they not have enough time to think?
I need some gear too. We're holding on to the summer. Fingers good for every day of the week, any time of year, that's for sure. Okay, so they've just passed again. Any surprises there?
I don't think so. I think you look at, again, we touched on it. Jill, you're making our job extremely difficult trying to fill this time, but again, it's not really a shock because a lot of moving parts are going on behind the scenes, and you look at San Diego and what they're trying to build there. You have to do things right because it's one and done when you're a new team. And
somebody says,
get it right. You have to get.
Somebody says, hold on. Fucking A. I said, did they not have enough time to think? Some say they have now 2 open slots and they can get someone or change with another time. Jill Ellis doing sketchy stuff behind the scenes, shocking, zero transparency. Says, what's happening, Kristen? Okay, and then it says, maybe they got penalized because of the unauthorized trade with Alex outside the training window. And then we don't know yet. Someone says, so
make moves so then you can trade.
It's a matrix, so they keep you entertained.
Yeah, and do the work early. Get your deals done, and that's what you're getting out of San Diego. They know what they wanted. They went out, they executed. So I think you have to give a lot of credit to that staff.
But we just don't know.
Pull off what they've already pulled off because they're obviously.
They're still signing. There's still things behind. They're still trying to get the player contract. Are they still trying to make it legit? How do they make the numbers match? Is that what they're trying to tell us, San Diego? I know I had read a tweet. It had said that so both Cali teams have money to take penalties. Okay, so they got deep pockets out there. Look, are we surprised? It's Hollywood.
In terms of their value within a squad, and that only
are we surprised?
Tension and issues internally. So I think you have a little bit of leverage as an expansion team to these teams saying, "Hey, we'll offer you protection, but here's what we want in return." And obviously, San Diego, I think,
but remember,
that incredibly well.
These drafts, they go off potential. These drafts go off. Okay, what have you shown us that you're really good at? Have you done it consistently? especially with expansion. This ain't college. These are older players. So most of the time, to me, they'll bring consistency and they'll bring, their type of playing style. You know what I'm saying? So both Houston players got picked. So we lost a midfielder and a forward. So we lost some of our attacking power. I'm just happy our defense didn't really get touched. So,
all right, Kaylin, I hear you, and I counter with this. In the 5th pick of the NWSL, we are going to pick Kaylee Real, defender, Racing Louisville.
Why didn't they just do that and just wait till the last one? Oh, they chop. Anyways, all right, Kaylee Real. Let's see.
2 years in the NWSL already, 25 years old. What have you got on this one?
All right, so she's the youngest one we got, Kaylee Real.
That has some experience in this league, and again, when
She's the youngest one so far that got picked. She's 25, and she's a defender. And also a player that's had to step up. I enjoyed watching Racing Louisville. Their stadium was lit. You know what I'm saying? And Racing Louisville stole our superstar, CeCe Kaiser. So, Racing, I still have beef with you. But, besides that, I like your stadium. And I like the vibe that I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what type of vibe Kaylee Real has.
A team in Racing Louisville that was already protected from LA, so there was no rush for San Diego to jump in and make that pick earlier.
Kaylee.
I do think that if you're looking at that squad, there were a lot of depth pieces that were available. It's not necessarily going to be starters, but players that will be part of good team chemistry and try to push those starters on. And who knows, with developmental pieces coming in, she could be one of those players that they can develop for the future.
Oh, it looked like we got another Librian or a Scorpio.
This is a San Diego team that knew exactly what they were going to accomplish in this expansion draft, and they're
she's another Libra.
And I completely agree with both of you. You look at someone also that is coming off an expansion team, so she knows what it feels to be in an expansion side, especially when.
All right, got a Libra on the board. Another Libra, back-to-back defenders,
and when she stepped up and needed to step
and both
up,
Libras for both teams.
In that back line, so again, brings the experience within the NWSL, still young enough to continue to learn, to continue to grow under players like an Abby Dahlkemper in that back line. And then when those international players are gone, she can step up into that starting 11 role. So I think this is a great player to pick up. And thank you, Joe, for making this 3 minutes a week.
So the selections have been made, but stay with us. We'll see what they get for those 2 picks that they passed on after the break. Plenty more to come on this. Plus a reminder, we have still got the college draft coming up on Saturday, of course, streaming on Paramount.
That's just, yeah.
We'll be back after this.
All right, you about to hit commercial on us. Yo. All right, yeah, it says that, okay, so I guess the draft's over. So, yeah, but also the draft that's going to be on Saturday, it's like a 4-hour, 5-hour live stream. So it's like, oh, shit. I'm just happy that both expansion teams can't take anything else from us unless Houston makes a trade. You know what I'm saying? Unless Houston makes a trade. But they said stay tuned after the picks are done. Possible more player moves to be announced. Because I'm not like those people that follow the news, like follow this big, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, they're going to have a draft. Let's just watch the draft. I'm not too sure. I'm not too good on the speculations and rumored draft picks and stuff like that. We just got to see it to believe it sometimes, especially in sports. Who's the starting 11 out there on the football field in opening day, right? Because some of these players that got picked, it may not even be here. You know what I mean? But anyways, we said we can any type of women's football content we can continue to put into a good light. I'm going to. But as you see, everyone's in the chat talking about a lot of things. A lot of things. You got free Tobin. She's already at Arsenal. What they gonna do? Someone says it basically means that they are working on their other trades and leaving the open spot. And so with I don't know, According to a reporter who's pretty well sourced, a source with no what? Oh, okay, y'all can read that, right? According to the Post reporter on Twitter, who's pretty well sourced, a source with knowledge of the plans tells me that Mewis is being flipped in a trade and will not stay in San Diego. You know, according to the sources. Hey, we'll see it when we believe it. Right? Well, overall, let me see. Are they back out? Nope, it's still commercial. But I hope y'all, enjoyed, my Anita Flying High watching commentary of the draft. Expansion draft, if I may say. You know what I'm saying? Shit. All right, they back. Let's get back out there. I thought y'all was back.
Coverage for you at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can stream it live on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports HQ. So plenty to unpack already. Both teams have significantly padded out their teams from this expansion draft. Let's get headlines though. Ali, I'll start with you. Which one has stood out to you the most so far?
You know, I think San Diego's pick in this expansion draft. Again, just because I think there's a very clear picture of the people that they're trying to bring in, what they're trying to accomplish. And I think that they got what they wanted out of this draft, which was more depth in certain positions. You've got potentially the value in Mewis. What does she offer? What is potentially her trade value? You've got McNabb and you've got Real in the back line. So those are players that can start, and those are also players that can add that depth in the back line and give you that validity, but they're also team players that are going to build a culture, and that's something that I know that Kayleen, and Lori have been touching on all night. So that culture piece is incredibly important because you can't have 19 starters. Otherwise, you're going to have internal strife, and that doesn't do anyone a service. I think when you look at Angel City, they filled out.
Y'all see this Sander 989? Oh my gosh. OMG, stop. Ali Wagner saying Danny's the only player who is for sure starter.
Bringing in Paige Nielsen.
It says KVU. Sorry, girl.
These players, except potentially Danny Weatherholt, break into that starting lineup. But these, to me, look like players that are rounding out a roster, have the experience in the league, that are going to provide that solidity and be a part of really strong team culture moving forward. Players that aren't going to maybe rock the boat and will fit nicely into the systems that both these clubs are trying to build.
Yeah, and I think I completely agree with all your points.
And,
I think San Diego.
And this is why you can have multiple views of football, and not just one narrative. You can. There's so many. Voices, right?
And then the value of Kristen Westfall, whatever they want to do with her, whether it's selling her on or whether they're keeping her here, it's just a great player to get. And then the other two with McNabb and Real, I think are fantastic.
Yeah, but how long will KV? We got to give KV. I'm not saying KV is not her prime no more, but I'm just saying, did we get the best years out of her at Houston? Listen, hopefully Mewis doesn't score in Houston when they come see each other again. But hopefully she goes to England.
I think you look at Sarah Gordon, fabulous player. Obviously, Kristen Prest, but it's that middle of the park. You have Julie Ertz, but injured. So where does she fit in? When she's going to be healthy? Danny Weatherholt, I think that is a star beside, because I think she's going to play a massive role early on here in the season. But I still think they're missing some big components to be a team that's going to be very competitive in an inaugural season.
I don't know. I like the unpredictableness that they're bringing here in Angel City. It feels very fitting with this massive franchise, and I'm here all for it. I think in a lot of ways, many years leading up to this, we've seen some predictableness, some things that we can easily fit into pieces, and we're seeing that with San Diego. I think they're doing a great job, as we've all mentioned. But I like knowing that Angel City, we don't quite know, and that makes them dangerous. So I'm looking forward to what this is going to look like going forward.
Well, it's a good point, isn't it? Because there's still so many more pieces of this puzzle to come together, Kayla. So
you're taking my words now.
In my head now. But it's true, isn't it? When and for these teams as well, it's the first time that it's been a double expansion. So they've also been having to think of
what the other team is taking and where their own needs are.
And I don't mind your point with that, because I think if you look, let's take Orlando Pride, for example. You look at all the world-class players on that team, but quite frankly have struggled season after season. They just haven't been able to get it done on the pitch. So it's that unpredictability in the NWSL good, but also in the NWSL, you have to have a little bit of that balance from back to front, because it is so transitional. You have world-class strikers that just need a half step to punish teams. So again, both of these sides, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm delighted that I've heard that I'm getting jerseys from both of these teams. So yeah, can't wait.
We want to be involved too, Laurie. Well, let's check in with Marissa Pillar.
Everyone wants free jerseys. Don't worry, ladies. You'll get the jerseys, ladies. Don't worry.
And your team. When all this is said and done, you can finally take a little bit of a breath, I guess, after tonight. What are the biggest takeaways for you in this expansion draft?
Well, I think your experts
in
the studio now.
What Jill Ellis's vibe is.
Balanced in what we wanted. We were very strategic. I think some of these players we got tonight, week in and week out in the league, they've proven themselves. So we've got players with a lot of experience coming in. So we're genuinely excited. Obviously, none of the people in the studio were available to select tonight. Otherwise, Ali would have been our first pick. But listen, we're super excited.
They keep pushing Ali Wagner.
Fantastic squad. Again, the depth and the experience we're coming in with this group of players we've selected tonight, and we're just excited. Obviously, the next round's upon us in a couple of days with the college pick, and all in all, I think we're pretty excited about what we're trying to build here.
I do have to mention, Jill, Lori Lindsay's playing rights are still up for grabs, so if you wanted her, you can always make that happen.
Jill Ellis is a Virgo, so I'm not surprised.
Well, I'm very familiar with Lori Lindsay, Olympic champion.
I'm not surprised people don't like her.
But yeah,
she's a Virgo. Very. We were just talking about Sam Kerr as being a Virgo, perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? Analytical geniuses, mastery.
Ali, you weren't available.
You can't hate. You can't hate. That's in her birth chart.
Ahead to Saturday, we saw.
You know what I'm saying?
Emphasize tonight a lot of defensive players really solidifying that core of the team. What will be the focus now?
And what better to have a Virgo try to build a master team? You know what I'm saying? She's already proven that she's won. So you can look at her record and be like, you can love her or hate her. She's got 2 World Cups, I think she has some Olympic stuff. But anyways,
how we want to play. We want to be an up-tempo team. The personality.
Virgo don't give a fuck about what you think. Virgo, the master of that shit.
You see center backs on those scoring goals. We want players are multi-dimensional. So I think
it is what it is.
Again, be about targeting players that we think will just be a great fit for our squad, for our coaching staff, and for our team.
Jill, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Brilliant stuff there from Jill. A pat on the back for everyone as well, nonetheless. And Ali, I think she's forgiven you for wearing Angel City colours.
Let me see what Ali Wagner's. I know Lori Lindsay is a Pisces.
Sorry, guys.
Let me check out the.
41 with triplets, but still the first pick.
Ali, you would still.
I'm not too worried about him. But I just know Lori Lindsay's a Pisces.
I've got to get outside and stretch my legs, so I'm not sure. We'll see. But Caitlin, it's interesting, isn't it? I think both of them could play.
Well, I will say Lori didn't get picked up because she's actually into a modeling career now. She's actually got a gig later tonight, so that's exactly why she wasn't picked up. And I probably would have gone after Poppy. I'm not. I would have been fourth, I think, out of this table.
I'm okay with it. You definitely wouldn't. I couldn't even get up the stairs.
Hey, Wally, right
That's
now.
how long gone my playing days are. We'll stay with us. We've still got plenty more to come.
They got-
I'm desperate to hop in.
We got about 30 more minutes left, y'all.
Because here's a reminder, the college draft is coming up on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, streaming on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports HQ. Stay with us. We've got plenty more to come from tonight's expansion draft.
All right, ladies. We still here. We still here with you. Look, Rainbow Hustle said there's still more to come. All right, we're gonna stick through. It's only 2 hours. If we watch 2 hours of a football match, why not this is this expansion draft, but the other draft is gonna be like a good 5-hour thing. So, and I was just looking, I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to clear my schedule. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to see when City play. Manchester City. I don't know. Do they play? I think they play because when do they play? Okay, bet they play in the morning. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's gonna be a full day of football. You know what I'm saying? Someone says, "Did anyone watch Spider-Man NWH? Because it was epic." No, I didn't. All right, y'all. They on commercial break. We on commercial break. But yeah, I mean, I've had a good time. The vibe was pretty cool between the ladies. They're all the blah blah blah. You know, he's saying they're all their own characters. You know what I'm saying? They got their own characteristics. They are, they're their own vibes, just like we all do. You know what I'm saying? But you know what made us all come together? The NWSL draft, expansion draft. You know what I'm saying? That's something that has come together. It says confusing. Someone says confusing as ever. I'll have to read about this draft tomorrow. Someone said, OMG, do you think San Diego is trading Muse for Morgan? And then Xavier said, don't worry, I won't. I hate spoilers myself. Yeah. LOL. But I haven't watched any Spider-Man movies since like forever. I'm trying to think. I think the last movie I watched was Kong versus Godzilla. I think that was the last movie I watched. But I don't really like movies like that. I like TV shows. They're a little short. They're shorter. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I bet you like TV. I bet you like certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, wait. Are we still on commercial? We still on commercial? Yeah, it's like it's a 2 hour. Yeah, it's a 2 hour thing. So they got about like a good 30 minutes left. Okay, the ladies are back. Let's get back out there. Oh shit.
Freya, so glad to have you with us after the expansion draft where we saw Angel City pick up a little bit of everything: forwards, midfielders, defenders. How will all of the pieces that you selected tonight, as well as before the draft, come together to form that big picture?
Yeah, it's really important for us to have, the complete team
what her vibe is.
Play in lots of different positions. We've talked before about our ability to have some sort of tactical flexibility, so that's something that we looked at with the players that we've got, and I think the pickups that we've got have got a fantastic job of being able to play in multiple positions. Obviously, they've got great experience within the league, so really excited to welcome the teams and the players to the team.
Stylistically wise, what attributes do these players that you now have give you the ability to do going forward in 2022?
Damn, we don't know when she was born. We don't have no information on this woman. We don't even know her energy. All us got is that via Wikipedia.
Spencer's got that tactical flexibility and can go forward.
Is that
it's really effective at being able to attack.
She grew up in Buckinghamshire.
Flexibility on that left-hand side.
So that's all we got from her.
In a slightly deeper role as well. And I think that they've, are going to bring some excitement to the league and to the fans.
Which is pretty chill.
The baseline is set with Angel City. We start to get a little bit of a clearer picture of how this team is going to shape up. What do you think is the first impression that you made on everyone tonight?
Casey Stoney's a Taurus, so
the biggest thing for us is
she's fixated
building a whole squad
in her own way.
I think we've brought in some really great additions, and I think if we're looking at the strength of the squad, we've got great depth, we've got great experience, as well as a lot of young players. We've got quite a young average age of our team as we're looking to build. Obviously, we've got a few players that are yet to sign, and we've still got to go through the college draft.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about the variability in the team that we're looking to put on the field.
Yeah. Thanks so much for your time, Fran. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's pretty nice.
Brilliant to hear from Freya there. One thing she mentioned was that tactical flexibility. She's got a tough job, hasn't she? Because she has the vision, now bringing in all these players. How much of an idea do you have in your mind as a head coach? This is the way we want to play before you get all those pieces of the puzzle, Kaylin.
Yeah, I think it's flexibility, and I think Ali's touched on it numerous times, whether you're playing 3 through the back, 4 through the back, and I think she's got a great problem on her hands because she has a lot of players that can play multiple different roles and role-playing players that can either start games or come off the bench, and players that have played in the league and have that experience. So I think this is definitely something with the NWSL where you look at it in those preseason games, those preseason matches where Freya can start to play around with all these of which she wants to play, whether it is coming out with 4 in the back and then switching it in 45 just to catch teams off guard. I think that is a fantastic tactic that she has in her back pocket.
Yeah, and it was interesting to hear her say that you could actually play Ansley in the lower role. That was something I hadn't seen before, so that makes a bit more sense, and potentially the versatility that she can offer to this squad. Obviously, we know that Paige Nielsen has that capabilities playing outside or centrally. But, you know, when you still look at it, the squad still lacks a bit of wow factor for me. So I'm waiting for some international key signings to be announced at some point that starts to really, picture more so of where the anchor point in this team will be, because that is incredibly important. It brings a lot of that experience to the squad. Paige Nielsen has been around. Yes, Kristen Press up top, but I feel like without the center midfield, Danny Weatherholt, I don't think she is going to be.
They're live streaming this on YouTube right now. I'm done.
Can be an instrumental figure, but I don't look to her to be the one that is going to necessarily take this team to the next level. So who are the anchors that really they're going to build out around? Because I think the players they added in this draft, which is what I would expect. I don't think you're going to pick up any anchors in this expansion draft, excuse me. So
wow. They're streaming the match on you. Oh.
Your Twitter.
Hold on, guys. Hold on now.
That ultimately flashes and we get to see who they're really going to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and to your original point, Poppy, the fact that you do need to have an understanding of how you want to play, but then have some flexibility and versatility within that. And we've
Let me go here, y'all.
Numerous times, even when she was with Gotham as well, talk about locking things down defensively, have some unpredictableness up top. You have that with Kristen Press, Jasmine Sensor, who they picked up today, Claire Emsley, with who Ali just mentioned about whether she can play in various roles. But yeah, the question mark is who can they bring in to really solidify this, link this team? Because if you're going to be a possession-oriented team, then you have to have somebody that wants to get on the ball, that wants to be flashy at times, but also just be smart, simple when it's necessary as well.
And I think she had that in Gotham with Ali Long. Obviously, when she came to Gotham, it was a completely different team. I mean, you look at the ball retention and the ball position that Long brings to the NWSL, it's second to none, and she simplifies it. It's that 1-2 touch style of soccer in the middle of the park, plays out of pressure. I mean, doesn't do anything fancy, but rarely makes a mistake when the ball is at her feet. So I think that's a player, and I love that Al touched on that with Danny Weatherholt. I completely agree. I don't think that's your mainstay midfielder within this squad. I think she can play a role, whether it's locking out a game or maybe pushing for that late goal because she's that box-to-box midfielder. I see her more as an 8 than I do a 6, so it'll be really interesting to see what they do in the midfield.
All right, so we know the personnel, still questions to be answered, though, around how these teams will look, will stay.
Wow.
We've got plenty more to unpack from tonight's expansion draft, and here again is a reminder that we've got the college draft coming up Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Stay with us.
All right. Yo, they're streaming the game on YouTube. Can you believe that? So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. I have an idea. Here we go. Here we go. I can see you, girl. Yeah. Can you hear, girl? Wow. Nice, yo, that's super dope. I can't believe they're streaming the game here. I mean, they're streaming the game here. Let me we good. Can y'all hear?
Every match of the UEFA Europa League and the Europa Conference League, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, there you go. I guess we gotta make this big. There we go. Double-sided the girl.
Every match of the UEFA Europa League and the Europa Conference League, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
When others say no,
We got two audios. We gotta
Welcome
make sure
back
we know.
to the 2022 expansion draft. Marla, it looked like things were obviously going on behind the scenes there. Now that the draft is closed and the trade window is open, what can you tell us about what's transpired?
Absolutely. So there's been a flurry of activity. We have a few trades here. So as between Angel City FC and the Houston Dash, Angel City has acquired the 6th pick in the 2022 NWSL draft, and Houston will receive $125,000 in allocation money.
Okay.
And the 26th pick in the 2022.
So Houston getting some
draft.
money?
As between the San Diego Wave FC and Portland Thorns FC, San Diego have acquired the rights to Kristen Westfall and Amira Ali, and the Portland Thorns will receive $50,000 in allocation money. As between New York, New Jersey Gotham FC and San Diego Wave FC, New York, New Jersey Gotham have acquired the rights to Christy Mewis in exchange for $200,000 in allocation money going to San Diego.
Oh, sweet.
And as between the Orlando Pride and the San Diego Wave, San Diego has officially acquired the rights to Alex Morgan. In exchange, the Orlando Pride receives the rights to Unbarad James and $275,000 in allocation money.
Marla, thank you so much. The San Diego Wave have received forward Alex Morgan. I mean, nobody saw this coming, did they? Maybe the best, worst kept secret in the NWSL at the minute, but it's official, everyone. Alex Morgan is heading to San Diego, Laurie.
From Orlando?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's coming.
Okay.
If you've been living under a rock, I don't know what to say.
Twitter, so I did not see this one coming. But this isn't a surprise, right? And but now Orlando gets a good chunk of money to be able to utilize. And when you think about a team that's going to start to rebuild, we've seen Ashlyn Harris and Allie Krieger go to Gotham. So there's spots to be available for this Orlando team, and also bringing in Amanda Cromwell as a new head coach. Lots to be taking place going forward for Orlando.
Yeah, not a shock at all. I think when you saw the expansion teams going to California, you knew Alex Morgan was going to one of those two teams. So this isn't a shock, and a good chunk of money, $275,000 for pretty much a rebuild. Orlando needs to start from scratch. This one, Christy Mewis, we touched on the trade of whether she would stick with San Diego or they'd move her on. Obviously, moving her on to Gotham for $200K. That's a lot of money that San Diego can then go out and maybe get a couple international players or some players within the league. So you knew exactly. We obviously talking to San Diego, you knew that they were building. You knew what they wanted. They already had this deal done in behind the scenes. So again, fair play to San Diego and the Alex Morgan worst kept secret in the world.
Yeah, but we all know about inflation, right? Why is everyone taking the money?
Ali, you answer it.
Economic jokes?
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. I understand my audience now. All right, never mind.
Yes, Ali,
we're getting stuff involved.
Ali, we're all just absolutely blown away by this Alex Morgan news. No one saw it coming. We're just still in a bit of shock.
Totally shocked. I mean, who knew, right? Alex Morgan, one of the best forwards in the world. goes into California, her home state. Yeah, everyone knew. So anyways, I do like the Kristen Westfall move. I think, the value piece was important for San Diego to move her on to Gotham. I think it's a massive win for Gotham. This is a side now that is in Gotham that is incredibly loaded in the center of the midfield. You think about Ali Long signing an extension. They still have McCall Zerboni. Now Kristen Westfall potentially, if she does stay there, they're loaded in the center of the park. And they also have talked about the need to bring in some younger players to learn from some of these experienced vets. So I think it's an interesting move. I think San Diego, again, is poised to go out into the international market and make a big splash. But outside of that, I don't think much was shocking. Kristen Westfall coming is a big win, I think, for San Diego. Another good outside back coming into the Wave. And outside of that, Ali, the trade for Ali. This is a player that the rights were held by Portland and picked up in the last year's draft. She is an incredible talent. I was just watching a lot of footage on her, and I think she's a really exciting player. She's a winger on the left side. She's a player that, yes, can break lines, can get in behind, but she's so good on the ball, and I think she makes incredibly smart decisions. So I think she's another force to be reckoned with in that forward line, and she could be one of those players that burst onto the scene the way Trinity Rodman did.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like this Westfall trade. I think she was an outstanding player with Portland. I think, again, another player that did a role when internationals were gone, but then stepped up huge and solidified herself, quite frankly, in that starting 11 spot. Comfortable with the ball, loves to break lines as well. Good in transition. So I think it's definitely a player that San Diego, they're starting to find a little bit of balance within the side, not only through that spine of the team, but on the width as well.
And let's talk about Kristen Westfall as well then, because massive news. You thought that you might see this coming. It was, in the works, wasn't it? And now official.
Yeah, I like the aggression from Gotham to make this trade. We talked about Ali Krieger, Ashlyn Harris making their way after Kaylin Sheridan goes to San Diego. So we're seeing some of these moves, but to bring in, we talked about McCall Zerboni, Ali Long already holding down the midfield for Gotham FC. Then you bring in a player like Kristen Westfall, who's a bit more dynamic, who wants to get forward, and with those two players sitting behind her, this team looks all of a sudden very different going forward in their attack, being able to break lines, but also get in behind. And it just proves to have a little bit more unpredictableness going forward.
And just, I think, the rotation in that midfield as well. We haven't even touched on her as Cujo. I think she brings a lot to that midfield side as well. So I think if injury falls or players gone away with international duty, they have balance within that midfield as well and depth.
Yep, absolutely. Well, for more on this, let's check in with our very own Marissa Pillar.
I was able to get in contact with Gotham FC head coach Scott Parkinson about that Kristen Westfall trade, and trying for a while, quote, to finally get her is a massive testament to our club and the direction we're going in. We believe she has a world-class qualities. We're ecstatic to get her here. Assistant coach Becky Tweed also messaged me and told me that they're really excited to know that they have a quality player right now in their midfield that can bring this team to the next level.
Brilliant stuff there, Marissa. Well, stay with us. We've got plenty more to come as we recap what's happened in the expansion draft. There's been so many headlines, and we will break them all down for you. But a quick reminder, again, we've got the college draft coming up Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, available on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports HQ, presented by Ally. Stay with us. Plenty more news coming your way next.
Yeah, when they mean by like streaming on, they're streaming this on YouTube. So that's when we watch. I'm happy that I have to, because most of the time I didn't Google it, and I didn't YouTube it. I didn't know they were going to be streaming the things on YouTube. So now we know for the college draft, we're gonna be live. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna find out and watch the draft. It's good. Man, I wish I had them. It's alright. But it's so commercial, I think.
the Europa Conference League, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Serie A is back. Immobile! What about that? What a finish!
Every match of the UEFA Europa League and the Europa Conference League, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to the 2022 expansion draft presented by Allies. So much has happened already tonight, and for more on this, let's welcome in our CBS Sports soccer writer, Sandra Herrera. Sandra, I know you were just saying you've struggled to keep up with all the headlines that are happening, but from the ones that we've seen so far, what stands out to you the most?
Well, I think that tonight can be composed into two different parts, right? I think we're looking at who's the winner of the expansion draft and who's the winner outside of this draft in that really early trade window. I think I'm looking at the players that each of these teams have selected to sort of flesh out and build out their rosters, which is we're looking at a lot of players that got selected that are possibly going to be coming off the bench or competing in those high competitive training environments to maybe snatch a starting spot. But when I'm looking player by player, pick by pick, I'm fine with that, but I'm also looking for the teams that are chasing rings. And I really think that it's Angel City that sort of came out swinging first with that first pick for Danny Weatherholt. I mean, so much in this league comes down to very thin margins, and you're looking for players who can make that immediate impact, whether it's off the bench or in that starting 11. You're going to be looking for players who, yes, can try to score, who can, yes, sort of try to disrupt, but you want to look for ball winners. You want to look for players who can win those duels. And I'm looking at a high pick from Angel City to open up the expansion draft, and Danny Weatherholt, I'm making them the winners there. But in terms of what's happening right now, as we're discussing things, the trade window that's opening up, I'm looking at San Diego, and I think they're winning a whole lot of that allocation money back that they were maybe utilizing to help sort of build up their roster.
Obviously, I just wanted to ask you about Angel City. I love the points that you made there. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Danny Weatherholt, but what piece do you think that Angel City is missing at the moment? What do you think they need to go out and look for to really make this team that playoff contention?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to echo what I kind of said similarly when it comes to finding those players who are going to be able to compete in that middle third specifically. They made big waves, right, when they brought in players like Sarah Gordon, when they brought in somebody like a Julie Ertz, but there hasn't been the announcement of the official signing of a player like Ertz, right? There's unknowns with the injury that she was carrying in 2021. And I think a lot of games are won and lost in that middle third here in NWSL. And I think they got a really good first place in Weatherholt, and they've made some really good signings outside of that, going and looking overseas and bringing in two players from the collegiate system, right, in Mavinola, and then going out and then getting Cousins part of this as well. These are players that left, right, these American collegiate systems, went overseas to try to beef up their resume as professionals, and they're going to come into this league and sort of not maybe have to worry about making that gap as professionals. So I'm thinking that maybe they go out there and get another midfielder piece as well.
All right, brilliant stuff, Sandra. We'll see how it all unfolds. Thank you so much for joining us. And for more on San Diego, let's go back to Marissa Pillar, who is standing by with Casey Stoney.
Hi, Casey. So great to have you here. It's officially official. Alex Morgan coming to San Diego. How exactly did this move happen?
Yeah, obviously it's a deal that's been leaked. It's great that it's out there and it's official, you know, to bring someone who's a born winner, you know, a World Cup winner, scores goals at all levels into our dressing room and onto our field is a great acquisition for us.
Yeah, it was maybe one of the worst kept secrets in the league heading into tonight, but excited that it is out there. Now we can all celebrate that move for sure. The team also passed on 2 selections, picking up Kristen Westfall, as we just found out, as well as Amira Ali. What will those players bring to the big picture of this team?
Yeah, 2 massively exciting players for us in different areas. You know, Kristen brings that league pedigree, you know, fullback that can get forward, can join in and is a really good 1v1 defender, and I'm super excited about Amira. I went to watch her live in the college finals as well, you know, that weekend, and she's strong, she's quick, she's intelligent, she's technically very good, and I think she's going to be so exciting to this league.
As a former center back yourself, how important has it been to begin to build this inaugural season with such defensive core strength?
Yeah, it's so important, you know, and it's something that I believe in, is that we want to play attacking football built on strong foundations. So bringing in those seasoned defenders, experienced defenders, you know, is key to what we want to do.
Thanks so much for your time, Casey. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, great show.
From Casey Stoney there, and here again is a reminder the NWSL draft is coming up on Saturday. We're just about to wrap up the expansion draft though, so stay with us. We will recap all of the biggest headlines from tonight. That's next.
All right. Yo, that's wild. Casey wants to slow down the game. Attacking football. We're almost done. Oh shit! Well, the stream's also. We got like one more. They gotta wrap it all together in a edible. Yo, and I was thinking too. I think people are gonna have what's it called? Let's see. That's tomorrow. Oh shit, yeah, see, look at it. They already got that bitch scheduled. What's up? At 1 o'clock.
Every match of the UEFA Europa League and the Europa Conference League, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Serie A is back. Immobile!
We gonna watch that whole live.
Of the UEFA Europa League and the Europa Conference League, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
So coming up is the 2022 NWSL College Draft, but first let's look back at Ali Wagner has been through the draft process. She knows it well. In 2003, she was the #1 overall pick to the San Diego Spirit. Ali, I'm loving the hair. Does that take you back?
Oh my God!
Your hair is almost similar, Al, to mine, and you're always commenting. That is borderline a mullet that you have going on there.
Yeah, but Laura, the issue is that was like 20 years ago. I feel like
exactly.
I feel like it was very
bringing the 90s back.
Wait, Ali, you're not a fan of Lori's hair? I'm sure.
What? Absolutely love it. I just think that she looked like she came out of the dryer usually.
Okay, Ali, walk us through what that draft process was like for you, because I'm sure it brings a lot of memories back, doesn't it, seeing that picture?
It does, but all I saw was Omid Namazi's Fu Manchu right there. So when we're talking about facial hair, we have to highlight that as well. Man, it feels like it was just the other day. Honestly, I remember being so nervous and excited and getting the murmurings, finding out that I was going to go one to San Diego, but you still didn't know until it was a done deal. And I obviously, being a California girl, wanted to stay in California. I was obsessed with living in San Diego. Being the first pick was a massive honor.
2003?
I think it.
Damn, I was only
for my personal experience.
I was
being
7.
that #1 pick. I never really felt a ton of pressure, but I never really felt like I fit into the system that we actually built there.
7.
So it's kind of interesting now as we look forward to the college draft that's going to be on Saturday, and how many of these players need and want to go into a system that potentially highlights their qualities and get them to develop and get the best out of them. Because you can go into your club environment and stagnate, and that is something that the coaches have to be aware of, the players have to be aware of,
especially after all the NWSL toxicity,
because otherwise you lose potentially 1-2 years of development. So
that we came to
and it was
that was
I
revealed
wouldn't
to
change
us
it for the world. I changed my hair, I changed my outfit. Thanks, Mom. Why didn't you help me? But I do think that it's important to remember, you want these players to go in environments that will suit them and that they can grow.
And you're really able to put yourself in their shoes. And Laurie, you were drafted as well. I've written this down. In 2002, what was it like for you? You went, of course, to San Diego as well.
Yeah, quite the opposite of Allie. It seems like lifetimes ago. I don't even remember it. So, but then I went on. Allie comes into San Diego. I go on to the Washington Freedom. We did win the championship that year. Thank you. And so it was a good move for me. But I completely agree with Allie in this remark or in this regard, because, and conversely though as well, what are these expansion players? Who's going to be in an environment where they can shine even more now? So yes, you want to be in an environment where you don't stagnate, but there's going to be players that have already shuffled around so far in these pre-draft and now in the expansion draft that are going to come in and make more of an impact. Is that going to be a Danielle Weatherholt really come out of her shell and be that linker? Is that going to be a Jasmine Spencer that we can see more consistently get playing time, not just coming off the bench, but starting games, making an impact? So depends on the environment, but I agree completely with Allie on that.
And talking of the environment and the travel as well, you came from Canada and the Canadian allocation. What was that like for you? Because that's a completely different experience, isn't it?
It was, and I'm so grateful that the allocation is gone. Literally so thankful it is gone, because you didn't really have a lot to say of where you went. But the biggest takeaway that I got from college players coming into in professional environments is how quick they can mature. Because at their college, they're the best player on that team. They're used to, you're so good, you're great, you can take 2-3 players on, but how quick can they adjust in the NWSL and use the players around them to almost be that stepping stone to help them progress within the league and find their maturity even quicker, because it is a massive jump from college to the professional league with the travel, with the nutrition, the proper recovery, the longer season, quite frankly, and a little bit more time for that rest and recovery in between games.
And to add to that as well, Ali, looking ahead to this draft that's coming up, I mean, COVID has played such a huge factor in what we're going to see.
Oh, of course I knew COVID would come into the discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's impacted the players that have been entering the draft.
Pandemic.
About 5th year or another season, I should say.
We don't want to hear about COVID-19.
But I think the good side is there's a lot of these players that have this extra season, a little more time to evolve in the college game, and they look really good. San Diego Wave incredibly well, and Kelsey Turnbull, who almost made it all the way to the final again this year with Santa Clara. There's players like that actually developed in this last year in college, so they're going to come in really good form, I think, into this draft.
And we've got it all to look forward to, haven't we, on Saturday? You looking forward to it, Laurie?
Oh, certainly another big day.
Another big day, Caitlin.
I'll be tuning in from Montana. I will not be here with you guys. I'll be on the slopes with my iPhone watching you guys. But again, I wish the best of luck to all these players, because what an amazing opportunity to come into the NWSL, one of the best leagues in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for now, the two California clubs, Angel City and San Diego Wave, will continue to build their inaugural rosters ahead of their 2022 season debut this Saturday with the NWSL College Draft. A reminder, we will have all the live coverage coming up for you. Let's take another look at what we've got coming up with that college draft, because it's a lot, isn't it? And it'll all be available for you on Paramount Plus and CBS Sports HQ, 2 p.m. Eastern, presented by
also to stream for free on CBS Sports HQ YouTube. That's the big thing they forgot to tell you. It's on YouTube.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have your company. We'll see you Saturday.
But yeah, that's it, y'all. That's the wrap. We're gonna go ahead and finish out. Let me got that music playing. Let me share y'all. Everybody saying peace out. Can you hear me? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Peace out. All right, peace out to everyone. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Anita's Joint, #extendAJoint, where every day is payday, baby. It's your girl Anita flying high, flying out of this third dimensional reality. That was the expansion draft for San Diego, and Angel City FC Houston lost 2 players. Lost that girl, Kristen Westfall. Also lost that girl, Jasmine Spencer. But shout out to those players. We wish you good travels on your new experience, your good travels, good experiences to the new chapter, new story that you're getting put through. So make sure you keep the positivity, everyone. Keep your momentum up. Keep flying high, as we say, because we fly out here. But to all the new players that got new teams, making their dreams reality, shout out to all them. So once again, your girl is flying out of here with this third dimensional reality, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? Deuces.